Good morning, students. It's Monday, February 22nd. We are in Unit 3, as you can see here. For those of you who haven't caught up with us, we've already started Unit 3. Unit 2 should be done. If you haven't finished Unit 2, you'll get zeros in something. Anytime you don't have a zero, let me know so I know you're completing it. This week we're in Unit 3.2. We have finished 3.1, and we've done the worksheet, which you turned in Schoology, and the review test, which you've completed in LearnMate. This is the term LearnMate refers to the book that we're in. So 3.2 is bench testing your motors. We're trying to calculate the RPMs of your motors. That's rounds per minute. So you're going to put your robot up on a bench, and you're going to read over all the safety rules so that your robot doesn't go running off somewhere. We use blocks in the class, and we put the robot up on blocks, and we put a piece of tape on the motor, and we begin to count every time the revolutions. And we do that for every second. We do that for seconds. So this is kind of what it looks like the way they're doing it. It's not necessary to really stretch your wheels out that way and put a different shaft in. You can leave what you've got. You just got to get it off the ground so it doesn't run. What you're going to do is you put a piece of tape on the table and a piece of tape on the wheel, and every time it makes one revolution, you count one. And you do that for a set amount of time. It's up to you what you want to do that time at, but you can do that for like 10 seconds or 30 seconds or whatever, but if you counted 15 revolutions for every 10 seconds, that's 15 revolutions for every 10 seconds. And then you put that in the RPM calculations that we talked about in Unit 1, and you're trying to get it how many rounds per minute you're doing. You're going to do this test 5 times for each direction for each motor, plus one extra motor that you have over here in storage. So that means you're going to have this table 1 has left motor forward, and you're going to count the number of revolutions for whatever time you have. Let's say this is all 10 seconds, and you count the number of revolutions, and then you calculate the RPMs. Now this is in seconds, but you want to calculate RPMs. And then you're going to get an average. An average is when you add everything up and divide by 5. You have to do this 5 times. You're going to do 6 tables. Left motor forward, left motor reverse, that's 2 tables. Right motor forward, right motor reverse, that's 2 more tables. So that's table 1, table 2, table 3, table 4. Table 5 and 6 are when you go get a spare motor. You use spare motor forward, spare motor back. And this is pretty self-explanatory throughout if you can read, you have to be able to read and understand what's going on. You have to take your time and do this. This is what I expect you to be doing this week in the class. This table has to be drawn into, restart later. This table has to be drawn into your notebook 6 times, and all this data has to be in there, and all the questions have to be right, and you have to look at the rubric to make sure the rubric is met. But when you're drawing this table, I'm very picky about this. You have to draw it with a straight edge. I don't want sloppy tables. You're going to take a ruler and draw this. You've got a grid notebook for a reason. So use it, lay a ruler down, and draw this very pretty. If you draw it sloppy, you're going to lose points. I'm getting very picky about your notebooks from now on. So you see table 2 there. You see them testing the right motor. There's table 4. Then they're testing a spare motor. You see them holding a spare motor here and counting it. You may need some help with this. You can get a partner to help you count. Can put both your robots up and count. The goal here is to figure out what is the RPMs on your robot's motors, so you can get if you're building your robot, you would get robot motors that were kind of equal with RPMs, so you can make them go straight. All right, that's what you're doing. I want you to make sure that you start reading the rubrics, because I'm getting really tired of seeing stuff coming into me that doesn't match any of the rubrics. This is the rubric for 3.2, and if you look at it, the first thing you see here is engineering notebook entries. Engineering notebook entries are concise, appropriate, thorough, whatever. So that means that 1.3 talked about what an engineering notebook should look like. Page numbers, neat, dates, all that good stuff, all your names on it. Did you follow all the directions to solving the problems? Did you demonstrate it to a high degree of Autonomy, did you accurately represent the language and calculations that's asked to do? Did you do all the question sheet stuff? So this is how I'm grading. If you don't meet any of this, then you're not going to get all your points. So I expect it to be done this way. Read your rubrics before you do anything. So this week, what I'm looking at is 3.2 and 3.3. We should have the angular velocity assignment completed and the DC motor types and uses worksheet and review test. So we'll talk about the 3.3 later in the week, but you can go ahead and do the review test. All right, if you have any questions, I will see you in class.